What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying your lives to the fullest today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Cadillac CT4V Blackwing. Huge thank you to Mike.Dwyer of More Cadillac here in Chantilly, Virginia, for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Blackwing or any Cadillac product, I'll be sure to have Mike and More Cadillac's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, let's get into it. One of the first things I wanted to say is that I do apologize in advance if there is any wind noise in this video. I have a windsock on the camera, but I can't guarantee that there won't be any wind noise. I am trying my best, but it is a very, very windy day. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Cadillac CT4V Blackwing, and this particular one has been painted in Black Raven. One of the things that I really like about the CT4V Blackwing is it has sleeper looks, yet killer performance, and it kind of looks like the CT5V Blackwing's little brother, if that makes sense. It's a little bit smaller, and I guess you could say it's a little bit younger looking. I don't know, that's kind of the best way that I can describe it. But starting over here at our headlights with the CT4V Blackwing, you get LED headlights with IntelliBeam, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED cornering lights at the bottom of your LED daytime running lights. Basically, these cornering lights illuminate below 15 miles per hour when turning. It depends if you're turning left, if you're turning right. Basically, that side that you're turning into, this light will turn on to basically illuminate that dark road or something like that. And then also they turn on when you guys are going 35 miles an hour and above, and you turn your turn signal on. Basically, what the V Blackwing gives you is this high performance graphite V-shaped mesh grille. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it on camera, but you can see the mesh is all like that V shape. I think that's pretty cool, and it's basically signifying that this is a V product. And then you also do get a gloss black grille surround, as you may be able to tell. Cadillac logo at the center of that front grille, and then you get 4 forward-facing sensors on the front end total as well. I'll point those out. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then that is 4 down there. Coming down the front bumper just a tad, you also do get gloss black outer grills as well. So basically, right here, all of this area is all gloss black. I can tell you guys it is very, very windy out here. And then you also do get a graphite V mesh lower grille just to complement the upper grille up there, as you may be able to tell. And that also gets a gloss black surround around that as well. And then you also do get these gloss black outer splitters as well right there. And over here there is an option, and it's like a $10,000 option, where it will basically give you a carbon fiber front splitter as well as carbon fiber rocker extensions, but that is like a $10,600 option, so that is super, super expensive. But working our way down the side, you may be able to see all of that venting to feed those radiators up front, just to, you know, feed and cool down that big 3.6 liter twin turbo V6. You get a side marker light, and then these are the standard 18-inch polished face with dark Android accent wheels, and these wheels are wrapped in 255/35 in the front and 275/35 in the rear. Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. You guys may be able to see that these tires are pretty sticky after only a little bit of driving with all those rocks stuck to the tire. These are a very, very good tire, and I honestly like the sidewall look of a Michelin tire as well. There are 2 other wheel options if these don't satisfy your fancy, but as you may be able to tell, peeking behind these 18-inch wheels is a 6-piston Brembo front brake, and you also get 4-piston Brembo brakes in the back. And if you guys were wondering about the suspension, you guys get a magnetic ride control suspension, which is an absolutely phenomenal suspension, which can give you a very nice, comfortable ride around town. But then when you bring this thing to a track, it firms up and it can take corners like almost nothing else that you see on the road. But working our way back just a tad bit, you also do get line lock and launch control with the CT4V Blackwing. So not only does this thing look the look, it also goes the go as well. But Working our way down the side, you guys do get these gloss black fender vents as well as this V badging. You guys get rain sensing wipers as standard and body color side view mirrors with integrated turn signals. These side view mirrors are heated. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming. You get blind spot monitoring. These side view mirrors are also manual folding, and then at the bottom of your side view mirrors you get a little puddle light to basically illuminate this part of your vehicle when stepping in and out of it at night. So not only does it go the go, but it also does the luxury things as well. I mean, after all, you are buying a Cadillac product. But with the CT4V Blackwing, you also do get gloss black window trim as well as body color door handles with keyless access. That keyless access function is on all 4 of your door handles. And then I'm going to point this out again. You get your V badging on your front 2 doors only. I love that. It kind of reminds me, like right here, of the CTS V3, and then also all the way at the bottom of your passenger doors. This is what I'm talking about when I say the rocker extension. So these are the gloss black rocker extensions, and these are what comes standard with the CT4V Blackwing. But with that carbon fiber package, it is a $10,000 option. It is absolutely insane. But if that's what you want, you can get it as factory, and you can get that carbon fiber incorporated into your monthly payment rather than buying it aftermarket. But working our way to the back, you guys get these 4-piston Brembo calipers back here, and then working our way up top here, you get a body color shark fin antenna, a rear window defroster, LED taillights, and then obviously with the CT4V Blackwing, you guys get this ultra aggressive gloss black spoiler on your deck lid. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and it's just, this is what you get with the Blackwing, a massive spoiler, in your face design, and I am all here for it. I love it. You get satin chrome badging back here with your CT4 badging and your V and Blackwing badging as well. So you can get a CT4V, but this is the CT4V Blackwing, which gives you the good motor. And then above your Cadillac logo is where you will find your backup camera. Backup camera obviously comes standard. They were mandated in the United States after 2018. But popping open that trunk, you guys get V-specific carpeted floor mats. They look absolutely phenomenal, and I would love to see what this thing looks with these installed, but I'm not going to do that. But popping this open is where you'll find your battery. Then you get a little storage cubby on this side, maybe if you wanted to set jumper cables in there. But then I would say you could probably fit 4 to 5 carry-on suitcases back here. Honestly, I would say this is almost the exact same size trunk as what you would find in the CT5. Pretty cool. But then boom, closing that trunk, coming down just a tad, you get another 4 backup sensors back here total. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You get a gloss black rear valance with 2 reflectors, one there, one there. You get a quad tipped exhaust. You also do get a electronic limited slip differential, as well as a rear differential cooler and 373 rear gears. So this thing is ready to go. It puts the power down. It feels super, super quick. And then if you guys, as we get along in this video, you guys will hear that exhaust sounds absolutely phenomenal. It pops between shifts. When you downshift, it gives you some nice crackles. It's just an overall really, really awesome vehicle. And this is a very slept on vehicle. You don't see too many of these on the road. So instead of buying that M3, maybe save 30K and buy one of these, because this thing is also super, super slick. But open this up. 91 octane plus is recommended, I guess maybe required actually, because it doesn't say recommended, so I would say it's required. And then you do get a capless filler neck. Let's do a little rear 3/4 angle of this thing. Again, I love the way that this thing looks. It looks so sleek here, and like from like right here on up, it reminds me of the CTS V3, and then from about like here to here, it reminds me of the CTS V2. It's kind of funny, but I love the way that this thing looks, and I love how it combines, you know, some of its big brother's, you know, DNA in it. So it's really, really awesome. Let me know if you guys agree. Do you guys like the CT4V Blackwing? Let me know in the comments down below. But from what all you guys have been waiting for, at least some of you, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 that makes 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to the $2,275 10-speed automatic transmission, at least here, for a 0 to 60 time with that 10-speed in 4 seconds flat. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 16 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon on the highway for 19 miles per gallon combined with rear wheel drive only. So if you guys are looking at this thing and you're like, hey, you know, I need something that's all wheel drive, well, you're not gonna be able to buy one of these because this comes in rear wheel drive only. However, I think those fuel economy numbers, at least the highway number, is pretty dang good considering those horsepower figures. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I am now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your guys' help. I would love to purchase one of these things one day, and I can only do that with your guys' support. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move on into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned to you guys earlier on in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand on the door handle, and then press that button right there, and the vehicle will either unlock and or lock. You do get a V specific key fob with that V badging right there, and then you also get a couple functions. So you do get remote start. You can pop open your trunk by pressing on that button, then you get your panic function and your unlock and your lock functions up top. To remote start the vehicle, let's stand behind it, press that lock button, then press that button twice, and the vehicle will fire up. But stepping on into the interior, let's take a look at what the door panel has to offer here on the driver's side. So basically I'm going to turn the vehicle back off because it's going to interfere with the audio system when the HVAC system is just blasting. But taking a look at the driver's side door panel, you get vinyl wrapping from here on up. You get some accent colored stitching, 2 memory seat adjustment settings. This is what your AKG speaker surround looks like. It's like a graphite kind of stainless look to it. It looks phenomenal. This does come standard with a 15 speaker AKG sound system, which sounds really, really good. Get your unlock and your lock functions, aluminum door handle, you get some aluminum trim, and then you get from leather wrapping from here all the way up to about right there. You get some accent colored stitching. You get a nicely padded and leather wrapped armrest. And then taking a look at the door panel right here, you get automatic up and down windows in the front. You only get automatic down windows in the back. Here are your power side view mirror controls, and then pressing on that button right there will restrict your passenger window privileges, and then it will also lock the rear doors from the inside, so you will no longer be able to access the outside from the door handle on the second row when that button is pressed down. But you get quite a bit of storage space at the bottom of the door panel, and then pressing on that button right there will pop open your trunk. One thing I also really like about the CT4V Blackwing, you get these aluminum sport pedals. They look super upscale. And then you also do get a floorboard mounted accelerator, which just adds to the sporty feel of this. Last but not least, you also do get a V specific door sill right here. It is brushed aluminum and it looks absolutely phenomenal here. But let's step on into the interior. So like I said, you do get keyless access. That also does mean you get push button start. Just make sure you have your key fob in the interior. Push your foot down on the brake and then push to start. And that is what it sounds like started with the driver door open here from the interior's perspective. I'm going to turn the HVAC system off so you guys have a good sound while I'm going throughout the interior. But let's start over here, then we'll work our way into those rear seats. So pressing on that button right there will turn your electronic parking brake on or off. Coming down just a tad bit more, this will brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. Turn into the right. This particular one has been optioned with the $725 technology package, which gives you guys a head-up display. So those are your head-up display controls, and then your head-up display is displaying about right there. So basically on the head-up display, you can move the orientation up, you can move the orientation down, and then you can also adjust the information on the head-up display. So you can see right now it is on the digital speedometer readout. If I press this info button right here, that will bring me into my digital speedometer readout, driver assistance stuff, and my speed limit sign. Now it's my RPM gauge, my digital speedometer readout, and driver assistance stuff, and then back to just the digital speedometer readout. This particular one has also been optioned with the $1,600 performance data and video recorder. So that is where you would stick the SD card in for right there. So if you're doing any track driving, you can actually record your track driving from a camera up top here, and you can just download it straight to that SD card that you would put in there. That is a pretty cool system if you guys are actually going to be doing some track driving. This is your turn signal stock, your high beam control stock, and your headlight control stock. So let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. And then this is headlights automatic. that's daytime running lights on, and then that is headlights in the always on position. You can see that button right there. If you click on that, that will turn your IntelliBeam on or off. IntelliBeam is just your automatic high beams. And then you also do get a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And what I mean by that is that the steering wheel will come towards you, the steering wheel will go away from you, and then the steering wheel will also move up and down to your liking, which is also very, very nice. That is your windshield wiper control stock. And then this particular one has been optioned with the $3,000 high performance front bucket seats with jet black leather, cloth, suede, and the sueded seat backs. And that package also includes this performance steering wheel. So you can see you get your red line at the top, that adds to the sporty feel. It's got a really nice 9-3 grip. You get your paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel. This does have the 10-speed automatic transmission. Again, I love the 9-3 grip. You get your V button there. You get some carbon fiber trim down here. You get your another little V badge. Let me know what that 42 of 921 means right there. I tried to look it up and I couldn't figure that out. So let me know in the comments what that is. Then you get some aluminum trim down here. This is like your traction control stuff. So you can either be traction control ESC on, you can be in wet mode, you can be in dry mode, you can be in sport mode, race 1 and race 2. These are basically your different traction settings. So it's pretty cool how you can adjust the traction on the fly from right there. I think that's pretty sweet. But back over to here, you guys do get adaptive cruise control on this particular one, and that does come with the optional $900 driver assistance pack, which also includes enhanced automatic braking and reverse automatic braking. So this button right here and these controls are all for your adaptive cruise control settings. That is your heated steering wheel. So the heated steering wheel and the heated front seats all do come standard. Then that is to hang up on a phone call, that is to pick up on a phone call and or speak to the vehicle. This again will put you into your V mode, which basically is like, you can see right there, that is exactly what V mode is. Basically your performance driving mode. That is to go forward on a track, that is to go backward on a track, and then these two buttons as well as this scroll knob is to control your 12-inch digital gauge cluster, which comes standard on the CT4V Blackwing. But you can see, you get your Cadillac crest, that's where your horn is. Let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like. But now let's move into our gauge cluster. So on the lower left-hand side, that's your odometer, that's your coolant temperature gauge. This is your fuel gauge down here, that's your fuel range, that's your compass. This stuff is all, you can all change all of that stuff, but basically this is your sport layout. So you get your RPM gauge, that's your transmission status, that's your speed limit sign, that is the speedometer, digital speedometer readout. And then all these tiles over here are also interchangeable to your liking. So basically I'm just gonna click this button here all the way to the left, and then I can deselect all, which is gonna erase all of those things, which I'm not gonna do. Actually, I'll do it. But you can go into your battery voltage stuff, so now that's popping up. You can go into your ELSD coupling, you can go into engine boost and your lateral G-force. So again, you can customize that to your liking. Clicking over to here, you get your trip 1 information, you get your trip 2 information, you get your fuel economy stuff, your trip timer, current drive cycle. I'm clicking over to the right again. This is your performance timer, you get your lap timer, G stuff, launch control, which is unavailable, and that is because this is not yet broken in. Then you get your driver assistance stuff. Clicking over one more to the right, you get your audio stuff, so you can change the audio stuff there. You get your compass, phone stuff. This is your maintenance stuff. You can see your oil life, your air filter life, and your engine life. So basically, you get your revs, you get your idle hours, and your engine hours total. Then you can go between your different display themes. So you have your tour mode, which is lame, which I'll show you guys that now. I would never drive this vehicle in this mode. We were just in sport mode, and now this is what track mode looks like. Track mode's pretty sweet, but I would probably drive this in sport mode. But you can see track mode is also pretty sick. Or you can link the display theme to the drive mode. So if you're in sport mode, you can see the sport theme. If you're in tour mode, you're in the tour theme. And then if you're in track mode, you're in the track theme. But basically, I would probably leave it in sport mode because I do like the way that the sport mode display layout looks like. Again, that's just personal preference, but that's just the way that I see things. Then you get these different options and stuff, these settings here. Clicking over to the right, you can also simplify it, which basically just gives you your digital speedometer readout section right there. So this is also pretty cool as well, but I do like to see stuff on the screen as I am driving the vehicle. Again, you get your head-up display up top there. All of this dash is vinyl wrapped. You get some tweeters in the A-pillars, but coming down just a tad bit, this is the standard 8-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So this is what what the screen looks like. This is your home screen. You get your audio, your phone, your navigation stuff, your Wi-Fi, hotspot stuff. So this is a Wi-Fi hotspot capable vehicle. It works absolutely phenomenally. I used it today. Then you got your users, your settings, and then you get your CarPlay and your Android Auto stuff. Swiping over to the right, you can go between your different apps. I'm not going to give that any time, but your OnStar stuff, your performance data recorder, this is pretty cool. Basically, that is what it looks like. You can start recording if you have an SD card in here, and then you go between your different recordings. That is pretty cool, but right now we don't have an SD card, so we can't really access much of it. You can also bring your climate control stuff on the screen as well if you wanted to. That's what that looks like. And then you can go into My Cadillac. Basically, you can set service appointments there, and then you also have your Sirius XM shortcut. Down here, that is your home button. These are all your different shortcut buttons. So you get your audio button, your phone button, your navigation button, and your climate button. That is basically how much service the Wi-Fi hotspot has. And then that is the ambient exterior temperature and the current time. You get a redundant physical home button as well as the home button on the screen. You get 2 HVAC vents below that, but you get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over there. That is what your engine stop start button looks like. Green means that the engine is on. And then this is what your climate control stack looks like. So I'll turn it on so you guys can see what displays on this screen, basically your different temperatures and the fan speed right there. But I'm going to turn that back off again because it's going to mess with the audio. And then this is just your different climate control buttons down there. Very nice to have physical buttons. And then you get heated front seats with 3 levels of adjustability. That is to turn your parking sensors, both front and rear, on or off. That's your hazard button. That's your lane keep assist on or off button. And then again, your front passenger also gets 3 levels of adjustability with the heated seat. Wireless charging pad does come standard. This is what your gear shift selector looks like. So if you guys want to go into manual mode, you throw it into drive, pull back one more time. It highlights the M in red. Now it's signifying that we can control the transmission with these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. That's pretty cool. And then push P to go into park. We're pushing P. Now we're in park. You get 2 cup holders. You get some carbon fiber trim. You get your drive mode selector down here. So we'll go in between those different drive modes. Basically, you have sport mode. You have race 1, race 2. Coming down a little bit more, you got dry, you got wet, you got inactive, and that's kind of about it. So I'd probably leave it in sport mode because why not? Something that's kind of interesting. Take a look at the picture in dry mode. And then take a look at the picture in sport mode. It's almost like it's going super, super fast. That's kind of cool. And it's just a small little things that make me happy like that. But that is to turn your traction control system on or off. Then you got your auto hold button. Basically, if you guys are stuck in traffic, you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake by yourself, if you press that button, the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. It's a really, really cool feature. You also have another spot you could set a phone down here if you wanted to as well. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and let's see how well that fits down in there. Okay, so you do have to set it kind of at an angle, as you may be able to tell, because it is a thicker phone, but it still fits. It also fits in that wireless charging pad. So if you guys do have a bigger phone, don't fret. They will fit in here just fine. You also do get a leather wrapped armrest that is nicely padded with some accent colored stitching. It's very driver focused because it only opens up to the driver's side. You get an SD card right there for your navigation system, I believe. Then that's a USB-C port, a USB-A port, and then you also get a 12-volt power outlet. Then you get a little bit of storage space down in here. I'll show my iPhone 14 Pro Max in here for size reference, so you can see not the biggest amount of space, but you can fit what you need to down in there. Then moving our way into the glove box, you get a lockable glove box with a little bit of storage space. Your owner's manual is in there, so you can see you can fit your owner's manual, some napkins, some straws, and stuff like that. Passenger side door panel looks pretty much the exact same as the driver side door panel. I love how you have the V embossed into these sport bucket seats. I'll put a little display of the sport buckets on screen right now. You guys can see these things look absolutely sick. Auto dimming rear view mirror. And if you guys are getting the CT4V Blackwing, these seats are an absolute must because it also includes this sport performance steering wheel, which is also an absolute must. I mean, if you guys are getting the V Blackwing, come on, you got to get these 2 other things as an option. Get your OnStar stuff. That lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. You get these 3 different buttons to open up your garage bays. So if you own a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with those 3 different buttons. So that's your universal garage door opener. This one has been optioned with the $1,050 sunroof. As you may be able to see, this is what it looks like when it's open. Boom. It slides, and then it also tilts up, which is very, very nice. And then driver gets a light, passenger gets a light. Both of those are LED. You get a little clip on your visor so you can set money, registration, or any small paper product. You get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, and then this also slides forwards and backwards, which is very nice. You get an OPU panel over here on the driver's side, as well as a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. Same thing over here on your passenger side as well. So if your driver's driving crazy, the passenger can hold on for dear life right there. I love the way that this interior looks, and it's just a great alternative to the other vehicles in this class. It's American made, it sounds great. It performs great. I do want to go over a couple of the different options that this one has. So this does have the $3,000 seats with the steering wheel. This also has the $1,600 performance data and video recorder. It has the $1,050 sunroof. It has the $725 technology package, which gives you the head-up display and the air ionizer, which is basically like an air filter for the interior. This also does have the $900 driver assistance package, which gives you adaptive cruise control, the enhanced automatic braking, and the reverse automatic braking. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen, but I am going to highlight a couple of the standard features. Basically, the 12-inch digital gauge cluster, the 8-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, the 15-speaker AKG sound system, heated front seats and heated steering wheel, the wireless charging pad, and that this is a Wi-Fi hotspot capable vehicle. As you may be able to tell, you can see all the different options that this has, all the standard stuff and the fuel economy stuff, but basically I'm going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 CT4V Blackwing is spec'd is $71,940. And considering what you get, this is a very good deal in my personal opinion. This thing performs phenomenally, it drives great, it looks great. All subjective opinions, but I think you guys would probably agree with me. Some of you won't, but I know some of you will. But stepping on into these rear seats, this is what your rear door panel looks like. You guys can see vinyl wrapping from here on up, leather wrapping from here on down. You get an aluminum door handle, you get some aluminum trim. I apologize for the wind noise. Automatic down windows back here only, and that's kind of about it for that door panel. You get no storage space at the bottom of the door panel back here. With those $3,000 suites, you do get suede seat backs, and you get the V badge on them as well. It looks absolutely sick. Take a look at these rear seats, or the front seats from the rear. Looks phenomenal. This is what your rear seats look like. Not quite as fun as what you would find in the front, but you do get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. I am sitting behind myself. I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself. I've got a little bit of leg room left. I've got a little bit of knee room left. That's a better look at what you're looking at with the leg room and knee room. But I mean, come on guys, this isn't built to be a freaking, you know, daily driver, fuel economy, you know what I'm saying. Basically, get these seats, get this car, it's going to handle amazing, and that is why, you know, it still fits me. I am 5'9". I still got a little bit of headroom left. I think I have about the same amount of headroom in this as I had in the CT5V. So it is pretty practical, you know what I mean? But if you have like friends that are 6'3" and they are sitting behind you and you're 5'9", they're probably not going to be too comfortable sitting behind you. But really, how often do you have people like that behind you? You get 2 HVAC vents here and a 12-volt power outlet. Plus, you're buying this vehicle for you. You're not buying this vehicle for your passengers. Anyways, you get a OPU panel up top here. You also get a spot you could set your dry cleaning and a dome light. Same stuff goes for over there as well. But this vehicle is absolutely awesome. It sounds absolutely phenomenal, and it's just fun to drive and fun to look at. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the CT4V Blackwing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, and I know you guys want to see what this thing's like to drive. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right guys, listen. A car like this warrants to be driven in sport mode, in manual mode. This thing, not only in sport mode, it firms up the suspension, but when you guys go over bumps, it still soaks up the bumps surprisingly well. Like, that is something that I always say whenever I do a video with a GM product, is that they have their suspension game down packed. They do an absolutely phenomenal job with their suspensions, and this is no different. This is honestly, it's just phenomenal. It's such a great suspension. It handles so well, but it also just still soaks up those bumps bumps very well as well, even in sport mode. So let's do a little paddle shifter response test here. Downshift. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the crackles. Here's a little acceleration. Shifts insanely well. Even like the paddle shifter response, upshifting is so responsive. It is so responsive. And that kind of brings me into my next point. And I want to talk about the paddle shifters, is that it almost is like you kind of have to have like longer fingers in order to kind of get your whole finger around the paddle shifter in order to like feel the paddle shifter kind of grab onto you, if that makes sense, because they are a little bit further mounted behind the steering wheel, if that makes sense. I'm not sure like the best way to describe that, but I did it, you know, the best way that I could. The driving experience on this is so rewarding because it just drives very well. It's very darty. I mean, you guys can see I'm kind of doing a little bit of a handling test, and there's absolutely no body roll. This would just, it would make for an amazing daily driver, but also just an absolute track weapon. I think this thing would handle the track extremely well because it's lightweight. It's got big brakes. The suspension is awesome. Transmission is great. You can get a 6-speed manual if you want to. So I like how GM is catering to both people, you know, who you want the automatic. Okay, well, we got the automatic for you. You want the manual? Okay, well, we got a beautiful 6-speed manual for you. Now, if I was going to get this and this was going to be my daily driver, I'd get it in the 10-speed because the 10-speed is awesome. But if I was going to get this as, you know, a fun driver, it'd be the 6-speed the 6-speed manual. Definitely the 6-speed manual. One thing I really like is that upon downshifts, you guys get some nice crackles, and I'm going to show you guys that as soon as I stop talking, which I need to get better at stop talking. So I'm going to give you guys, as soon as we get around this traffic circle, a nice little acceleration. If this was my car, I would absolutely haul bleep through this traffic circle, but it's not my car, so we're not going to haul bleep through here, but let's see how she does. All right, I guess I can't really get on it, but here. One thing I also like is that you can hear the turbos spool up. It's like, I love that. Anytime I get in a vehicle that's a turbo vehicle, I love to be able to hear the turbos spool up, and you can. Let me see if I can catch it on camera. The induction noise is kind of loud, so it kind of does, I know the GoPro's not going to pick it up. I can hear it here in person, the turbo spool up, but also the induction noise and the exhaust noise. So you have like a few different sensory, almost like a sensory overload in a good way, between the turbo spooling up, the induction noise, and the exhaust note. It sounds phenomenal. I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds just to hear this thing. Sorry, this guy's going like 2 miles an hour. Just, it handles just so well. I'm sorry, I'm behind somebody who's slow, but this thing is just awesome. I love the way that the 9-3 grip feels in my hands. It's just super sporty oriented. I love when I point it, it goes. I love when I let off the accelerator. When I'm in manual mode, you get some crackles. Listen. Just an awesome driving experience. I wish we were not following this guy, but it is what it is. We'll get another little acceleration in. Not here, but I guess that gives me time to just throw it into drive and just enjoy it as a daily driver, because if you guys are going to be daily driving one of these, you know, you want to know how it's going to daily. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put it in tour mode, and we're just going to see how it is as a daily. So right now, it's just a daily driver, right? We're not doing any crazy driving. We're just cruising home from work, and it just soaks up the bumps well. It's still a great handler, but it's just nice, poised, relaxed. But you know, it's ready to go when it needs to be. The throttle response is still pretty good in tour mode, especially considering, you know, this is tour mode, this isn't sport mode, so it doesn't have quite the throttle response, but it still has very good throttle response for being in tour mode. If you guys want to go full kill mode, let's say you pull up next to an M3, you can click that V mode and then you're off. You know what I'm saying? So that is pretty cool. I love to have like little things on my steering wheel that have to do with sporty driving. I think that is an addition to the fun sporty driving experience, and I love how manufacturers are starting to incorporate like these little things. Like this reminds me of like the Manatino dial that you find on like a Ferrari 458. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool how you can just go in between your different track mode or traction settings here. You can go into your V mode, you can turn the V mode off, you have your paddle shifters. It's a very nice looking and feeling steering wheel for what it is. This is a great alternative to those of you guys who want to buy a CT4V Blackwing, but it's so expensive. I know it's 100 grand, so it's about $30,000 more expensive than this. But this is a great alternative to that. And I like how Cadillac gives us the option of having an alternative to the CT4V Blackwing. I mean, obviously, you know, I'd love a CT4V Blackwing. I can't even afford this right now. But, you know, one day, you know, I'd like to get this first. Like, I would totally buy one of these personally for myself as a daily driver. And I'm not even just saying that. I'm being truthful when I do say that, because it's just a lot of fun to drive. Now we're going to go back into manual mode. Nice little acceleration. I'll be quiet. You guys hear that? It's just, I know it's a V6, and I know a lot of people are like, why'd they put a V6 in this? And they were saying that about the ATS-V. They're like, they should have put the LT1, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that would have been cooler, but this is still a phenomenal motor, and it still sounds really good, and it still gives you an awesome driving and performance experience that I don't think you'll be too sad that you don't have a V8, because honestly, this motor is really, really good. Would I rather have a V8? Of course I'd rather have a V8, but you know, sometimes you just got to deal with the cards that are given, and this is a great card that's given. Here, listen. It's a lot of fun to drive. The transmission is great. I love how they actually have really good paddle shifter response. That's something that's always a pet peeve of mine. If I get into a vehicle, it's a sporty vehicle and it has paddle shifters, but the paddle shifter response sucks. That is not the case here. The paddle shifter response in this is awesome. It's just, here, I'll let that car get ahead of me a little bit, and then we'll do a little acceleration here. Listen. You guys hear it between shifts? It's just an awesome and fun driving experience. You don't even really have to get on it in order to feel that fun driving experience, which is something that I also appreciate. So if you guys are interested in this particular CT4V Blackwing, I'll be sure to have Mike and more Cadillac's information in the description box down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your guys' help. So please help me get into a vehicle like this. I can only drive a vehicle like this with your guys' support, so I really, really appreciate your guys' support. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.